Hello everyone. I'm Hara, and I'm the kind of the producer of House Vision project. But I'm not an architect. I'm a designer, especially the communication design. Please turn off the. Okay. The reason why the designer should produce this kind of the architecture project. So in the condition of economy is being good, the role of designer is to create a very fantastic form and function and identification for every project. But the condition of economy is not so good. The role of design is changing, I think. To visualize a hidden possibility clearly is very important role of designer. The reason why I create this kind of project is that the house vision is not only to create a new field of housing industry, but also house is very important. House could be a very important platform to crossing the many kinds of activity of industry. So after the World War II, almost 70 years, the ordinary Japanese people living in the same style, the typical style. But Japanese technology and the Japanese lifestyle is very various possibility. So by having this kind of the explorer project, we should imagine what kind of circumstances we can create by using our tradition, or our aesthetic and technology. The house vision is that kind of project. I think making a new industrial vision visible is the role of this project. I think the product is a kind of the fruit that is grown on the special ground. So to think about the car, the Italian car and the German car and Japanese car is very different. So why this kind of difference would happen? I think the quality of soil is very important, I think. To talk about the German car, the soil of Germany is a Middle Europe, to a kind of the Habsburg culture, very noblish and very very special one for the rich people. Every car is produced for the rich people. But the Japanese soil is partially different from that kind of circumstances. That's the reason why the Japanese car is produced so boxy, so small, and having a very fantastic quality for the energy consumption. So I should imagine what kind of housing style we can produce by using this soil. That's a very important point of House Vision project. As I already explained, the house is very important crossing point of every kind of economy, industrial activities, like energy industry, or mobile industry, or communication industry, and solving the problem of social. Japanese society faced to the very terrible problem. The balance of the old people, the young people is seriously changing. House is a very important platform to think about that project. So that reason why I select house is that point. And but also the housing, we should create a new grand design. So thinking about energy condition, to thinking about urban development, the housing and construction, and interior and many kinds of services together. We should create a new industrial situation. And house and energy has a very, very deep relationship, as you already know. And house and the evolution of mobility is a very deep relationship. And so house itself is developed to be a combined smart appliance. So house is not only the space that puts a smart appliance by one way, but the house itself can be a very complicated electric appliances these days. And the people's literacy, housing literacy, I call it, the housing literacy of the ordinary people matures these days. So the ordinary people can use very complicated high technology easily. So, and in the Japan market, the market for the older people becomes very important. So after the children is independent, so the older parents can use a very long years by themselves. They should create a new living space by themselves by using the Japanese traditional aesthetics. What kind of houses we can create by using this kind of Japanese traditional aesthetic? And so aesthetic resources is very important, I think. And why exhibition? So we can create the possibility by using the movie or computer graphics, but the exhibition is very important. So the older people can touch the real scale housing directly is very important, I think. So especially the house, so the exhibition has a very huge influence for the ordinary people. I think design is a kind of education of desire for the ordinary people. So the urban or urbanity is not created by the specialist, I think. The urbanity is urban is a kind of the result of the desire of the ordinary people. If the design can give them the very great influence to them, so we can change the condition of the desire of ordinary people. That's a very important point. The reason why I create exhibition. So the 2013, about 3 years ago, I created the first exhibition, first house vision. So this is a venue of the exhibition, or very huge outside place like a baseball stadium. So I create this kind of exhibition venue. So this is a night view. So we created 7 exhibit house there. One of them is a collaboration with Elixir and Toyo. And the company and the architect should collaborate together. So that's a very important point. The very powerful company is a leader of the economy. But so only the company, they can, they always make a propaganda of their own business. But if the company should collaborate with the architect, they can create a very fresh concept. I think. Rikshu and Toyoito collaborate to create this kind of very strange house. So in this house, there is a very special barbecue space. And this space, the outside out and inside is air is just circulating freely. So if we create this kind of the barbecue table inside, just inside the house, so our lifestyle will be changed. Honda, the motor company, and So Fujimoto, the young architect, collaborate together to create a house of mobility. So, creating energy and saving energy, and by using this saved energy, so we can use this kind of mobility even inside the houses. Please see this video. So this is the kind of the robot stool. It's very easy to control by moving your balance. Only moving your balance, you can control this robot stool freely. So please imagine if you can use this kind of robot stool freely inside houses. And this is another exhibit house, collaborated by the Riken Yamamoto and with a young architect. This is a house for the 500 people living together. If the 500 people living together like a family, we can save the energy and we can share the many kinds of the common spaces. Big bath space, big theater, and a big kitchen, so many. So that if we shorten our private space a little, we can create a very fantastic, huge common space. That is explore to create this kind of new style housing. And Sumitomo Forestry and Hiroshi Sugimoto, the modern artist, create this kind of houses by using the Japanese tradition. Hiroshi Sugimoto is an artist. He's very good at using the Japanese traditional aesthetic in the today's context. So the Japanese people almost abandoned the traditional way of living more than 100 years ago. But if we use this kind of the traditional one, so we can create more fantastic living space even today. And Muji and Shigeru created a house of furniture. So that there is no wall in this house. So only the furniture it can support the ceiling. So there is no wall. Every wall should be so Muji has a very fantastic system. So Muji has a very fantastic system for the storage and module. So if we use this kind of fantastic module and combining this module to house, the spoon and the house connected directly. And the toiletry company collaborate with young architects and creating this kind of very clean space. The Japanese people always take off their shoes when they enter the house. So what kind of toiletry space could be created by this kind of people? Please imagine. And Tsutaya bookstore and the Real Tokyo Estate, the young architect group, created the edited house. The light of creating houses moved to the architect, to the ordinary people these days. They think that this house is not a typical typist, not so. They make a proposal. Please, construction of your house by yourself by using the very old materials. So the house looks like very chaotic, but there is no way to control the housing. So the initiative of creating houses moved to the constructor, to the ordinary people. Is their opinion. Okay. And so the 7th exhibit house I showed today is the first exhibition. And we're just planning to the 2nd house vision exhibition this year. And participant becomes more becomes more rich than the first one. And Toyota Motor Company and Isetan department store and Yamato Holdings is a circulating company. And Airbnb, the sharing economy leader, has joined this project together. And we created 12 exhibit house this year. And we are just waiting to open the new exhibition just after the 1 month later. So this new exhibition will start the 30 in July, the next month. This is the planning of space. Okay. So to create this exhibit space, we use this kind of the typical timber, 10.5 centimeters square timber to construct in the space. So like a timber yard. So after all the timbers is used for the exhibition, we reconstruct it and reuse it for another purpose. And the exhibit space is partly diminished. And so the first exhibit house is a house with refrigerator access from outside. This is the Yamato Holdings, the company to take care about the circulation of things. Collaborate with Fumie Shibata, the product designer. So if there is some doors that is open from the outside, about the refrigerator, about the dust box, and the cleaning, so that if the people can take care about this system, this is very small change, But if we create this kind of system in the social, the basic style of living will be changed. How do you think? This is a very small change, but a very huge change of society. So, the Yamato Holdings thinks it is already possible because they are circulating huge numbers of things, very ordinary, so that they can take care of this system easily. So, and Yoshinosugi Shida House is created by Airbnb and Go Hasegawa, the young architect. Go Hasegawa created this kind of wood house by using the Yoshino Shida. In Nara Prefecture is about a 2-hour distance by using the Super Express from Tokyo, very local place. But this Nara Prefecture is very famous for its cedar timber. So, Go Hasegawa using this material to create this house. Very strange shape. And in the first floor is open for the community. So the mother who have children making meeting and drinking tea here with your friend, and the old man is just walking around the town and sometimes stay there and make some conversation with another people. So this first floor is open for the community. But the roof room, the room just under the roof is for the guests. Guest people can stay in the under the roof space. So this is a community space, and this is a space for staying for the guest. And this house is very special to make a communication with the guest and the host. The host is not a special family or a special people. The host is people who live in the town. And by using this kind of house, they can create a new communication in between the guest and the town people. This is the Yoshino Shida. And the Yoshino town and the Nara prefecture is very famous to treating this kind of the traditional chamber. And by using this material, and after the exhibition, this house is carried by using the truck to the Nara prefecture again and replaced there and use it as used as a very special stay house in that place. And this the Airbnb like to make a new story in between the local place and the Airbnb. So in today's Japan, there is many empty houses there, especially in the local place. The people who live in the local place become more older and older. But there is a possibility to make a communication with people who come from the abroad. So this kind of system make many fantastic inspiration for the local people, I think. And Spiral House, created by Panasonic and Yuko Hasegawa, Yuko Nagayama, creating this kind of strange house. the shape of wall is just like a spiral. Panasonic think that the house itself evolved to a combined electricity complex. So in the center top of the house, there is a weathercock. The gold one is a kind of the sensor to catch up the condition of outside. And so this sensor get a very delicate information about outside and make a communication to the people who live inside. There is many kind of sensor this house have. So this house looks very thin and very weak, but very delicate. So this house, the skin of the house is a kind of media that communicate with inside and outside. And inside, the curved wall is a kind of the screen. You can project any wall, any place in the curved wall inside the houses. And the center core of the house is square. And so if we feel the existence of the square center core, the house is divided naturally. This is a kitchen, and this is study. And Tanada terrace office. Tanada means rice terrace office. This is a collaboration with Muji and Atelier Bao. And this is looks like the traditional Japanese country house. So this is a rice terrace office. The first floor is a space to keep the tools to cultivate the fields. And the second floor is office. So Muji, do you know Muji? Muji company keep a collection, this kind of the countryside rice terrace. So this is very typical countryside of Japan. Most of Japan is this kind of spaces. But this kind of the very narrow rice terrace is very difficult to cultivate. So the cost is become very high, but it's not suitable for the agricultural business. But Japanese people don't want to lose this kind of circumstances. So the Muji sometimes help them to take care of the condition of rice terrace. But these days, the people can work everywhere by using the computer. So the Muji's people, some of Muji's people working in this situation. But this place is not so far from the center core of Tokyo, about 1.5 hours by car. So if the Muji people live in this place, so Muji can make a connection between the local place and urban place. So by this is a very typical house that is built in the terrace house. So this house, the first floor is empty. The second house has a very sophisticated rooms. By using the local material, the atelier Bauer creating this kind of the house that should be constructed in the rice field. So this is the situation of rice office. So after Muji is just constructing 3 rice house in House Vision project. And after the exhibition, they removed this house to the rice directory. And Muji's people is going to work there. It's a very interesting trial, I think. And this is a house called Nomado House that is created by Isetan Mitsukoshi Department Store and Makoto Tanejiri and Ai Yoshida, the young architect. And this is several space that is created in the house. This is a house, new house inside the houses. So the typical Japanese tatami room or kitchen space, and so you don't take out of your shoes when enter the house, but you should take out the house to enter the special places. Inside the house, there's another house there. That this style looks very strange, but I think that this house is planned for the people who always moving. So one of my friends is Kengo Kuma, the architect. He is always moving. He was always moving. So he has many projects all over the world. He's always moving. So I think he is like a nomad. So he always moves. But he stays 2 or 3 weeks in Tokyo. And another days of the month, he always moving. This kind of the house living style fits to that kind of the new nomad people, I think. How do you think? And rental space tower is created by Daito Crust Construction and So Fujimoto. So this is a CG model. It looks very complicated. But So Fujimoto think the left one is an ordinary rent house. The private space, the rent space is maximized. The common space is very small. But if we make the private space more smaller, we can get more rich common space. And reconstructing the personal space and the common space together, So Fujimoto created this kind of the rental house tower. The garden and the terrace and the steps and the private space, the theater room, the guest room is combined together. So this space is very complicated, but sometimes very fantastic. If the old people who is very good at take care about the green, the people who live in this space can enjoy the very fantastic garden. So if we reconstruct the rental space, the house will be changed like this. And the life goal. So we call it the oasis. Rikishu and Shigeru Ban created this kind of houses. So the houses itself is a very unique style. Please see this video. This is the basement of a house, and this is the basic structure of housing. And outside is sealed with a film and fixed by using the zipper. And the size and the forms is can be changed flexible. And outside the color can be changed flexible. And inside the elixir creates a new style of the water space, bath and toilet and kitchen. So this center core can be changed flexible. So if you can change the space place of the center core, the interior can change freely. The style of center core can be changed freely. This house using this kind of the central core system, the flexible floor, and a very huge open space by using a new sash system. So this house is very cheap. So Shigeru Ban is always thinking about very small and very functional small houses by using the low-cost system. This is the checkered waterside. The Sumitomo Forestry and the Seijun Nishihara is a kind of the plant hunter. We call him a plant hunter. He is very good at taking care of the plants and the Kengokumo. This is a kind of the hot spring place. Japanese people like to put their food inside the hot water. But the exhibition is held in August. This water should be more cooler. But if we create this kind of space inside the exhibition, people feel comfort by sitting there. Water and the chamber and the soil and tree is mixed directly by checker style. How do you think? And this is a wood grain house collaborated with a Toppan printing company and Hara Design Institute, my design room. So this is a very huge timber piece, very huge. But this is a kind of the fake tree. These days, printing method evolved partially. We can recognize which is real one and which is fake one. It's very difficult to find out it. So by using this fake tree, we can create a labyrinth of wood house. The scale of the log, scale of the timber can be changed really. But most of them looks like a real one. But using this fake tree, we can put leather, and we can create a very fantastic wall that can make a communication with people by using the leather inside the walls. And so this is a kind of labyrinth. The audience can enjoy the fake world, fake tree world. So, and make a collaboration. So if the audience sit on this chair, the sensor can check the condition of their body and announced from the wall, oh, please drink water a little bit. So please and take care. Your blood pressure is a little bit higher. So this house can make an intercourse with the people by using the sensor. So this is a very special house. The Toto, the toiletry company, YKKAP, that company creating a window and collaborate with Jun Igarashi, the architect, and Taiji Fujimori, the furniture artist, furniture designer. And Jun Igarashi would like to create a window that has a very deep depth. So in the round space is a living space. So each branch is a kind of the window. In this case, window is not only the space that separates outside and inside. Window itself has a depth. And Taiji Fujimori creating the furniture inside the deep window. So, how do you think? If the window evolved this kind of shape, bathroom will change like this. Bathroom, study, kitchen, and toilet is in each window. So this is a very special case. But this house tells us a new vocabulary of architecture. How do you think? And the grand third living room is created Toyota Motor Company and Kengo Kuma. So the Kengo Kuma creating the very fantastic tent by using the carbon fiber and the very fantastic fiber, airtight fiber, very light and very flexible and airtight fiber. So Toyota plug-in hybrid car carry a very huge energy. If the car can supply the energy to the living space, the very simple tent is become more comfortable for people. The car can carry the many quantity of tent space. So the tent is very easy to be extended. If the car can supply the energy to them, energy and information. So only one car can create a very fantastic quantity of space in the outside, even in the outside. This is a trial, how we can create very special place. So if by using the car, not only the mobile tool, but also the energy supplier, the basic situation of living circumstances will be changed, I think. How do you think? This is we called wireless roof house. The Culture Convenience Club and Hara Design Institute and Shinya Nakajima is a creator of the television commercial, create this kind of houses. This house looks very strange. The small white post is a chair, and on each chair there is a virtual reality headset on the chair, and each audience sets a virtual reality headset and sitting on the chair and looks the movie. So the 180 degrees count there. So by using this material. And the Culture Convenience Club is just creating this kind of the new system of the mobile phone. The ordinary mobile phone, like Apple, is edited by the application. There's many icons of application is on the surface of the window. But this mobile phone is edited by people. A relation of people is very important. So this mobile phone is edited by people. By edited by people, we can create the connection of family easily. Even the difference of the people and people is very far from. We can create the relationship like a real family. So if my grandfather is living in Fukuoka Prefecture, it takes about 4 hours by the Super Express and 1.5 hour by airplane. My wife and my children is living in Tokyo. But by using this cellular phone, by mobile phone, we can make a communication easily by my grandmother. So we always condition the battery of my mother and the condition of their walking and the condition of their health easily. So by using this mobile tool, we can create a new relationship of the family. So the very serious social problem. One person living is more popular in Japan. More than the 6% people is living alone. But the traditional family, grandfather, grandmother, father, mother, and children living together is diminishing. Most of the Japanese people is living alone these days. But if we can use this kind of the tool, we can make a new connection again. So in the ordinary saying, the family is living under the roof. That is define of the family. But if we use the roof of the electricity, we can create a new family by using technology. That's a very important point. By the virtual reality movies, we can create a new connection of people. So that is a new experience. So that is. This is an old explanation about the 12th house exhibit house. And this is a coffee shop that is created in the space. Okay. This is the whole exhibit space. So most of the exhibit houses already partially planned, and we just realized this in the actual space. This is just under the construction. So this is very far from the graphic design, but I think this is a very important activity of today's design. So I think House Vision project is very open to not only the special people, the student of the architect or designer, but also to the ordinary people. I think, as I said at the start of this lecture, the design is a kind of the education of the designer of the ordinary people. So I think this exhibition created a very fantastic influence to the ordinary people. That is a very important point, I think. And about the China House Vision, we express the Tokyo House Vision and China House Vision should be very different one. So the problem that is held in social is very important resources of creation. And today China is a very fantastic resource of the new creation, I think. So as today's exhibition in Venice, so it's already shown. So the house vision, China House Vision, will be created more fantastic situation. So I expect so. Okay, I pass my mic to Tsuchiya-san.